Today on the channel, first time in any line, the first ever Tony Schiavone figure, the ringside exclusive AEW Unrivaled.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another AEW Unrivaled unboxing and review. And for the first time ever, we've got a Tony Schiavone figure, and this is a Ringside Collectibles exclusive. So for your Tony Schiavone figures and all your other AEW and WWE wrestling figure needs, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle and tell them Kyle sent you. So Tony Schiavone, first time in the line, first time in any line. What a time to truly be alive here. Tony Schiavone, been around as long as I've been watching wrestling, actually even longer than that. And we all know Tony Schiavone by now. His time in the NWA, WCW, even maybe a little TNA, of course WWF, and then of course now currently in the AEW organization. Tony Schiavone's seen it all, done it all, and then some from there, I guess we'd call it. But very cool to get Tony Schiavone in an action figure form, even if it's a ringside collectible, which I like. This isn't going to be on your Targets and Walmarts, which is a little disappointing. But if you take that business step back, it makes a lot of sense, because we know the announcer figures usually do not sell as well as, a Rio figure or a Luchasaurus, things like that. But Tony, very cool to get this figure after all these years. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's check out the packaging on old Tony. We know this packaging by now. Very similar to the Jim Ross, of course. Jim Ross is a Ringside exclusive as well. You can pick them both up over at Ringside. Got to have those two together. And of course, Excalibur coming about a month or so later down the line. And then we'll get the announcer set as well that's been kind of dangled out there. Not up for pre-order quite yet, though. But everything looks really good, like the chair in here, much like we got with Jim Ross. We got Tony Schiavone. It'll be interesting. We're going to have to judge this one when we get him out of the package. We got a little glamour shot there. Exclusive to Ringside. Got the sticker right up there, as well as the AEW stuff and the gold foil we know we love. He is number 102 in the Unrivaled line, AEW logo. No Easter eggs on the side here because it is an exclusive. And then on the back, no cross-sell, anything like that. It's just straight up Tony Schiavone with his autograph. Watch Dynamite, watch Rampage. Tony looking good, even with that earring there. I don't know if I can co-sign that earring on Tony Schiavone. It always catches my eye. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But definitely Tony Schiavone, one of the greats of all time in the announcer spectrum. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. But let's pull him out of the package. Let's see what all the fuss is about on old Tony Schiavone here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's doing. Let's pull it out of the package. Maybe. There it is. Didn't lose anything. Perfect. Off to the races. See you later. Goodbye. How about a little plastic prison? See what's going on. If I can get a hold of it here. There he is in the plastic prison. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. We do get a microphone accessory. Always enjoy that. Pop all this out. Uh-oh, Tony. We lost Tony. Tony just died here. We just messed him up. He's all roped in. All right, we're going to get him here. We're off to the races. See you later. Goodbye. We're going to plug Tony back together. Poor Tony. Seen better days. Getting all ripped. I didn't see that rubber band holding everything down there, but we definitely had a rubber band. All right, we got a rubber band holding around his head as well. That is keeping the glasses on his head. Hopefully, when we take this rubber band off, we're not going to have any big glasses problems. You never know, though. You never know. So, anyways, let's start it off. Let's look at these accessories. And we got the patented AEW microphone. We've seen it a million times, but guess what? Makes all the sense in the world. We'd all be scratching our head if he didn't have a microphone. Tony Schiavone not having a microphone is like Darby Allin not having fists, or whoever not having fists. So we do get a microphone, the patented AEW one. Then we do get the chair. Of course, we saw the same one with JR. The JR one really fought me a little bit. His chair really fought me, and this one's doing the same thing. So I guess you got to be a little tougher than the chair, but you can pop it in. I do have JR's chair right here, so I believe identical chairs, yes, and that's just fine with me. I'll put this off the side. I'll figure it out later. But the chair makes all the sense. Why wouldn't you use the same chair? I got to assume Excalibur is going to have the same one as well. You get the little spinning on the bottom there, but nice hard plastic, nice tough plastic. Not rolling wheels on this, but you don't really need rolling wheels, I don't think. but a very good accessory for Tony Schiavone, and one that does make sense, especially if you get the announcer's table, all that kind of stuff that we are going to get. So there's his accessories, and then we get down to old Tony Schiavone here. Tony not coming with a fist. He's not throwing a fist at anybody, I guess. Tony looking good, though. Let's see. What do we got, Tony? Let's break this articulation down first, then we're going to get into the critiques of the figure here. But the arms, of course, go all the way around. Bicep cut for Tony. Double jointed elbows. They are pinned, of course. Hands back and forth. We do get waist side to side. We do get head side to side. Of course, the head is removable. Back and forth on the arms. You do get the big old Tony Schiavone splits. He loves to do the splits pre-show, I've heard. That's how he warms up for a show. You get the thigh cut there. You do get the double jointed elbows. Elbows, how about knees? And then you do get the boot cut, which is always a little strange to me in these suited ones. It's weird to have a boot cut there. Then you do get the ankles. And now Tony does come in his AEW jacket, looking very professional, looking really old school here. Got a white shirt with a black tie, looks really good. Got one button there to keep everything together. And then he has tan pants and the black shoes here. So a little different wardrobe than Jim Ross. And I do have the Jim Ross figure right here. I do really appreciate that they use some of the differences on these guys. The buttons on Jim Ross are different than Tony. You got different colored ties, things like that. I appreciate little details to make them as different as possible. Obviously, nobody's going to confuse these guys for each other, but to make them as different as possible, you got two announcers, so different color pants, things like that goes a long way because you're going to be pairing these guys together in most situations. It does look strange, though, on their articulation, just like Jim Ross there, the waist one. I almost feel like, hey, it's an announcer or manager. Take away this waist articulation. Sometimes too much articulation can be a thing, and I think that is the thing with announcers. We don't need them doing backflips. We don't need them jumping off the top rope, so I don't necessarily need this one here. And it does really break up the sculpt. Is a little bit ugly, I think, in the waist department, so that does hold a little bit against it. But then the million-dollar question is the Tony Schiavone head, and I will agree. There's been a lot of feedback that the glasses just are not working for people. Just not. But I tell you what, I took the glasses off. Now I'm looking at just Tony Schiavone here. It definitely looks a lot more like Tony Schiavone without the glasses, to me at least. Now that being said, if somebody took this head off, handed me this head and said, Kyle, who is this? Could I guess this is Tony Schiavone? I might have to say, give me 3 guesses. And it might be like, is this an AEW figure? Yes or no? Okay. All right, is it an announcer figure? Yes or no? Okay, is it Tony Schiavone? It might be something like that. It does look like Tony enough where if somebody said to you, oh, that's Tony Schiavone, I think you'd say, okay, yeah, I kind of see it. I do see it there. But it is a little rough. I think there's something a little bit off in the face, and maybe it's the hair. I don't know if Tony has that much hair. Obviously, he's not a bald guy or anything, but it's pretty thick, pretty volume-esque hair here, and I think that throws it off a little bit. And then, of course, the beard going on. He has a little tighter beard, kind of like JR. His beard's not as gray and not as full as the one over here. So that is some of the differences. But I do say the glasses really do knock this one down. I think I'm going to display it with the glasses because I'm afraid I'll lose the glasses if I don't keep them with him. I don't want to get mixed up and I'll never find him again. But I truly think he does actually look better without the glasses. So some of you guys out there, or gals, of course, you might display him with no glasses, and it might look a little bit better, might look a little bit more Tony Schiavone, I think. But it's okay. I'm not going to say this is the greatest. It's nowhere your top 10 of the year for AEW, but it's something that we need, something when you're building out an entire universe in your wrestling arena, your wrestling playing, your wrestling display, whatever it may be. You need a guy like Tony Schiavone. You need Jim Ross. You need them for the overall match experience. You need to have those announcers. And I know if I was a kid, I'd have him up there, and I'm sure every show some wrestler would come over there and probably powerbomb or choke Tony Schiavone off the stage. That would probably happen with little Kyle all the time. But it definitely is good to have. It is good to have these guys represented. I'm sure Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross will have Excalibur soon. Maybe, who knows? I'm sure we're going to get William Regal eventually. You know, Jericho, announcer Jericho. Can we get some of that too? But I love that the Jazzwares team is giving us some of these announcers, giving us referees. We don't get that from Mattel. We haven't got that from the WWE license in many, many years. So this is a really cool feature. And I think it is really smart to be a Ringside Collectible exclusive because it's not for everybody. This is for the hardcore fan base. And that's the people that do shop at Ringside Collectibles. I would say the majority of fans, the ones that are impatient, the ones that can't wait, the ones that want it now, the true collectors that have to get it. And that's what we do at Ringside Collectibles, as Tony takes a little header there. But definitely cool to have. I'm not going to say, like I said, it's not the best figure ever. It's Tony Schiavone's best figure ever, though. I will give it that. But an interesting figure nonetheless. But what's your guys' thoughts on this one? Easy pickup, easy pass. What do you think about Tony? You think it looks better with glasses or without? Let me know your thoughts on this figure. And of course, you made it this far, you might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. As you guys know, we got videos every single day, and you don't want to miss one, and that's the way you do it. You hit the notification bell, you see everything that does pop up throughout the day, week, month, maybe even your year, who knows. But check out the subscription, or check out the notification bell, I should say. Don't forget about the Patreon channel, link in the description below for early access to videos, bonus content, exclusive content, all the fun stuff over there on the Patreon. Best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget about social media. SirPaul64 is where you'll find me on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross too, why not? I am Kyle, and I'll see you guys all real soon.